$5 billion foreign aid bill is now crawling through the Senate as we speak, without any money for border security. The package only includes funding for now for Ukraine to continue its fight against Russia and continued help for Israel to defeat the terrorists of Hamas. It comes after some Republicans blocked that larger aid bill last week. The key vote on the new legislation is expected tomorrow, but the senators are right now on the Hill debating it. Joining us now is one of those Republican senators, Oklahoma Senator Markwayne Mullin, who sits on the Senate Armed Services Committee. Senator, welcome to Fox News Live this afternoon.
Thanks, Eric. Thanks
Good
for
to see
having me
you.
on.
Yeah, well, what is the most important thing to you that our viewers should know about the bill that is now being debated at this moment?
Well, unfortunately, it doesn't have border on it, but the American people spoke very loud about that. They didn't want the border bill that was being negotiated in the Senate. So right now, a lot of people, Eric, has got stuck on the fact that this is a Ukraine bill. It's not. It's really a national security bill, and I'm not trying to put a spin on it. I just want people to understand real numbers. 75% of this bill actually stays inside the United States. It comes back into replenishes our munition and stand up our defense industry. Our defense industry was way behind because for 20 years we've been fighting a war on terror, and we wasn't fighting a very good conventional war. And so when this Ukraine war with Russia broke out, unfortunately, we figured out really quick our defense industry was way behind on some of the advanced weapon systems we need. The other 25% of it, the biggest chunk of it, in the tune of almost 60%, is for Ukraine and Israel. And let's not forget it's Indo-Pacific too, so Taiwan, to buy weapons directly from the United States. It seems backwards that we're funding them to turn back around to fund us, but that's the way defense industry works.
So what you're saying basically is because of the Ukraine war, that is helping us. That is helping America, our defense, and we're now being able to catch up with our ammunition manufacturing?
Well, yes, and it's unfortunate, but we were way behind. A lot of the defense systems that we use, especially in air defense, you see Russia actually bragging about they have supersonic weapons now. The defense system we had really wasn't being pushed to the limits. When we were fighting a war on terror, we really didn't have a whole lot of air defense we were dealing with, especially talking about drones. Drones have been recently introduced into the battlefield, and the technology to use that, well, we're spending a $200 million missile to shoot down a $100,000 drone. It doesn't take very long for you to run out of money fighting a war that way. So our whole defense industry, we've been having to pivot and move. And so this bill is really more about national defense. And I really want listeners to know that I'm not trying to put a spin on it. It's just that we're calling it the Ukraine funding, and everybody's hung up on that. And this is about us. This is a national security risk that we have. We are very, very low on munitions. We're below what we'd like in our original stockpile. In fact, the president is actually signing executive orders to allow us to go below what we consider an alarming rate. And so we have to build that back up. And our defense industry just wasn't ready for that.
So the defense industry now is increasing that. There are concerns that without this bill, Ukraine could run out of ammunition. Vladimir Putin could win. And for you,
yes.
Go ahead.
Well, Eric, and the same thing with us, too. 57 million of this actually goes to a munition plant that's in McAlester, Oklahoma, to build 155 rounds, which is, in retrospect, Russia produces more a month than we produce a year here inside the United States.
Wow.
Of 155 rounds.
Say that again and why that's important. McAlester Army Ammunition Plant employs about 2,000 of your constituents in Oklahoma.
Right.
Without this, Ukraine could run out of ammunition.
Right.
Vladimir Putin could win. But at the same time, we're able to help Americans right here at home.
We're helping build our defense industry, not just Oklahoma, but all around. But as I restate that number, right now, Russia's able to produce more per month of the 155 rounds than we produce an entire year here inside the United States.
Wow. Finally,
that's how far behind our defense industry is, and that's just with one munition. We can talk about that all day long, about how far we are behind in shipbuilding with China, with missile defense with Russia, with drone defense with Iran. It's really pathetic. And so this bill is important for us to stand that industry back up. And I get, Eric, a lot of people's feelings about funding these wars without protecting our own border. And I don't disagree with what they're saying. except our bill for the border got all jumbled up because we got to deal with the White House that wants an open border and Chuck Schumer, who leads the Senate, who wants an open border. And so we have to do what we can do, and I do believe that the defense industry is important for us to invest in.
So right now, the focus today and over the next 2 days is defending Ukraine, defending Israel and Taiwan in the Senate. Senator Markwayne Mullin of Oklahoma, thank you. We'll let you get back to the debate. Good to see you.
Thank you, Eric.
Of course.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.